Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to Supa Radio. Obviously, once again, different place, different background. It's kind of gonna look a little crusty from here on forth, just because I'm still trying to get everything into a routine, get everything set up, see what's happening. Um, yeah, so I'm going through a cute amount of technical difficulties right now. So I'm trying to like just figure all that out. So yeah, Apple, if you want to sponsor me, I would really appreciate it. Send me a new laptop, be greatly appreciated. Once again, I'm Lola Ojamo. I'm your host of Super Radio. The song you just heard was Dream by Simi Liadi. She is a local DMV artist that I kind of heard from a friend of a friend. So I think she's really dope. So kind of just going right into it. Give me... Okay. Whew. Technical difficulties. I don't appreciate this. It's gonna be a little crustier than usual, guys. Obviously, I'm not wearing no makeup. Also, not wearing any special outfit or anything. I've been running around. But yeah, kind of going with that. So as I kind of said in my update video, I recently had to just move into campus sporadically. So I've been here for a little over a week now, and I have been overworked. I'm extremely tired. So it's just really funny because I'm a university employee, like I was saying in that video, and with all of that comes the threat of universities still closing. Of course, we've heard about UNC, which is extremely just stupid. Alabama recently. I don't really find it crazy to say I go to University of Maryland, but recently a school near University of Maryland, Towson University, they just closed too. I'm not sure if they completely closed or if they just like halted all move-in and online classes and stuff and they're getting ready to see something, because apparently they already have like a corona outbreak. And I've already said this on here, but guys, let's please try. Like the problem is there's no stigma against getting the virus. The stigma is against you deliberately putting yourself in harm's way in order to like allow people to get sick. Like you having a blatant disregard for any social cues to just say, you know what, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And I'm gonna just go out without my mask, and I'm gonna like we can't. Things you can't complain. Like the people who have the audacity to complain that they're trying to make things go back to normal, or they the mask is uncomfortable, or they don't want to do X, Y, and Z. It's just like, guys, we have to cooperate. For once in your life, you might have to just take some discomfort so that we can start being comfortable again. I would like to have a normal senior year. I would like to go out and do stuff without having to wear a mask and bring hand sanitizer everywhere. I'm sure everyone would. These restrictions would be lifted if they weren't. And we could go on a spiel about how our U.S. individualist culture inspires people to be a little more self-centered, be a little more narcissistic, and stop doing things for the better of the community. But I won't. But just notice, most people who are in more collectivist societies, this virus is not beating them the way that our individualist society is. That's just what I'm saying. That's just my theory. So, shoot. This university better not close until I get my package. I don't care what happens after that, but I need my package. So I'm gonna need everybody in the University of Maryland to just not. Okay? Okay. So we're just gonna quickly move from there, pretty much into the next song. So give me, I have to type it now. This is, I don't want to use the word ghetto, but it is crusty. Because like I already said, technical difficulties. But the next song is called Overcome by Isaac Whedon. And just for some encouragement, because I hope that we can overcome this entire corona mess that is happening right now. So yeah, the next song is Overcome by Isaac Wheaton.
Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good, 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 good. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good, 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 good. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good, 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 good. Good, 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 good,
Okay, so once again, that was Overcome by Isaac Whedon. So yeah, we're just gonna keep it moving. There's a thunderstorm happening outside, so that's great. Um, so I was on Twitter. If you know me, you know I normally don't go on Twitter, but I felt like going on Twitter to find things to talk about because I literally found things last minute. Because honestly, I won't lie. Do you see these bags? I don't know if I was actually planning on doing this today. But I was on Twitter, and there's a specific tweet that was basically calling out people like, don't look down on art as a career if you're going to be, basically it said, don't look down on art as a career if you're going to be a consumer of art. And I just found that really interesting. I feel like I've spoken somewhat about this going back to my background as an African child. My African parents are notorious for not supporting their children's careers in the arts, mainly because, especially for like immigrant children, a lot of us were brought into our families having to go through hardship, having to really climb their way into some sense of financial stability in a new country. So our parents don't really want that to happen for us. So I kind of find it interesting though because it's one thing for immigrant parents to say we don't want this for you, and hopefully if you have good enough parents they're like, you know what, if that's really what you want to do, I wish you the best. Just make sure you're finding a way to fund yourself. But not everyone's parents are like that. But I just find it interesting that in general society there are people who look down on people who are artists, not just musicians, but also like visual artists, photographers, dancers, all the art, all the arts. And it's just interesting to me because until you get big, like until you're like Beyonce, or until you're like, who is a super famous like dancer out right now? Like Matt Stefanina or something, that was just off the top of my head. Until you're like one of them, people who are doctors or lawyers, not saying all of them do this, but they feel like they can look down on them, just because maybe they make more, or maybe they have more of a stable job, I guess. So I just found that interesting because I feel like arts programs in high schools, for example, tend to be very underfunded. Most people go to specific, if they really want to get big in their craft, they go to specific places, or they just skip school altogether. And I feel like sometimes the motivation to pursue art as a career has to come internally, when there should be the same push that a lot of people give, for like STEM and business and stuff like that. The same push that a lot of people give should be happening externally for people who want to pursue art careers, especially because we see people who are artists, at least musicians, we see them get rewarded every day, huge followings, make a lot of money, but it doesn't trickle down very easily, and that's just because a lot of people don't want to support struggling artists, or the little people. They want to support the big ones, the ones that are all in your face and stuff. So I just think, going off of that, if you have a friend, if you have a family member who wants to do something in art, who likes to sing, likes to dance, likes to play an instrument, even if you can't see them in doing something like stable with it, don't discourage them. If they're terrible, or like they're tone deaf, or that's one thing. But especially when you're young, because sadly a lot of people's dreams can get choked out, like as they go through K to 12, and then they get to college, and they've always wanted to play in a band or something, but that dream feels like it can never happen. And that's why you have more and more artists coming out these days who are like in their late 20s, early 30s, doing music full time and being successful for it. And then you kind of look at them, you're like, you probably could have done this you probably could have been doing this for a long time. People like Ari Lennox or Lucky Day, both of them are like not old. They're not old at all, but they're pretty old in starting their careers compared to other people like Ariana Grande or something who did like 20. And it's just like, you could have been doing this earlier, And people are so like, they ride or die for to support their favorite artists, but then they look down on people who say, oh yeah, I'm majoring in music, or I want to be a musician. And I feel like we naturally have a tendency, even me as a musician, we all naturally have a tendency to look at people and to be like, you sure? You sure that's what you want to do? Okay. Good luck, And it's just like, we gotta stop that. Even me right now, like, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm in college for accounting and IT, So it's like, even though I like to do YouTube and I like to make music, so it's kind of interesting seeing that dynamic. But because I don't know if I could call it a privilege, but I'm able to go to college to try to get a stable job, but I still want to do the things I'm passionate about. It's just interesting figuring everything out. So I most definitely have so much respect for people who wholeheartedly jump in. I have a lot of friends who are dancers, who are musicians, people who, if you that common question, like if you could do anything you wanted to do, forget about money, forget about time, oh, hi Shamey, what's up? If you could do anything you wanted to do, forget about money, forget about time, forget about whatever, what do you want to do? And a lot of people typically respond with arts careers, or even with humanities things too. People who want to be writers and authors and poets and stuff. And a lot of them are not studying what they want to do, or not pursuing what they want to do, because there's like kind of a social stigma, social status thing behind it. So you kind of just have to like figure it out. And I'm not looking down on anyone who's majoring in like something to get like more of a stable job, but pursuing their passion. I'm 100% doing that. But I have so much respect for people who are grinding in their arts careers, and shout out to all of y'all. If you're you do fashion, you have a business, photography, music, all that stuff. Drop it. I want to hear it. I want to see it. I want to support it when I get money, of course. Um, but share it with everyone for sure. So yeah, but kind of segueing through that, something really cool happened over the course of, yes, Wednesday. So I played my recent release, Awkward Length, for everyone last week when I was giving that quick update about like how chaotic my life was. And we just released a song last Friday. It was super cool. It's been a week since then. And on Wednesday, I go on my phone for my Spotify for Artists. That's how you check your account and all that stuff. And I saw that my song was added to the Fresh Finds playlist and the Fresh Finds The Wave playlist, which is like the R&B Fresh Finds version. And those, if you don't know, if you don't have Spotify or anything, those are like pretty big playlists, especially for indie artists. It's pretty big. Have about 600K for Fresh Finds and like 70K for Fresh Finds The Wave. So that's a lot of people listening. And we checked today and I have like almost 5K listens, and that's only from Wednesday to Friday. And I was like, what? I'm on Fresh Finds. Me and Shay were like jumping around and like, well, Shay, shout out to Lil Shay. He's a part of Supa too. When I like went to our group chat and I was like, guys, do you see me on this playlist? I genuinely thought something was broken when I was seeing the numbers like climb, because I was like, how did people listen to the song? And it's just such, I'm so grateful, just because honestly, when the song released, I was like getting no sleep. I was being overworked for sure. Not like in a way that I didn't want to be, but most definitely I had a lot of work to do, and I was really sluggish with promotion. I was only sending it out to a few blogs. We had to split the work and see who was gonna do what. So we were doing a lot. And I was just like, some people I got like 50 streams the first on last Friday. So I was like, hey, 50 streams, come on, first day streams, 50. I was like super excited. I was like, 50 streams, that's fire. And I was satisfied. I was like, wow, 50 streams, come on. That was more. Under the Sun, when I first released Under the Sun, I think the first day it got like 20. So I was like, 50 and 20. I love that. But just to find out that like it like skyrocketed out of my expectations. Honestly, even if it just got to 100, I would have been like, because that's the second single I've ever released, and we were working on that song for a long time, and it's crazy. Normally, as a Christian, this is gonna kind of segue, but I'm kind of in a place, or I'm starting to be in a place by God's grace of just, kind of taking life the way God gives it to me. And if it's something super big, I'm grateful. If it's something super small or small in comparison to others, I don't care. I'm grateful, So I didn't really have many expectations. My life was flipping around side to side around the time I was releasing, so I didn't really have expectations. And for a long time, I've kind of been looking for affirmation and like numbers and stuff, and it just wasn't working. And honestly, when we released the song, I felt good about it because I was like, this is a song I worked hard on, so I really appreciate it. So just to find it being listened to by so many people, that song I wrote that song in January, and it has gone through revision after revision after revision. There are like 13 versions of that song before it got released. And even then, I listened to it, and there's still I'm a very picky person. Even then, I listened to it, there's still some parts that I'm like, I could have sung that better. Or still some parts where, maybe I should have like, changed the way I sung that part. And I still get kind of picky. And I don't know if I'll necessarily grow out of it, I guess, but I'm ranting a lot, I'm sorry. But it's something so amazing, I guess, to even just see the fruit of your work, because you can tell yourself so many times, I'm meant to do this, or not even necessarily just some like huge like this is my life's purpose, because our lives have many purposes. There isn't just one sole purpose, but just to even be like, okay, I should be doing this. Like I can, and it's kind of one of those things where now I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, like I can actually keep going. It doesn't feel fruitless. It doesn't feel like I'm just throwing it out there to get nothing back. Of course, making music isn't just something you do just to put it out. There are plenty of people who make a lot of songs and never release them, and that's totally fine too because it should be something that brings you joy. But I'm like, if I'm gonna be releasing them, I would appreciate even just one person hearing it and telling me it's good. So for thousands of people to hear it is mind boggling. And a few weeks ago, Kev on stage, ooh, my voice just cracked. Kev on stage, he's one of my favorite comedians. Um, he kind of was doing a video telling himself from like 2012 or something, went back when he was working at like an airline and he wanted to do comedy full time but he couldn't, and he was like, look at what we have, look at what we're doing. And I kind of just want to document this. I'll document this for the YouTube people. It is August 28th, 2020. Awkward Link just released. It was on the Fresh Finds playlist. It was on the Wave. And hopefully I can look back and say, wow, you thought that was good? You don't even know what's coming. You don't even know. We're gonna we're gonna just leave that here. So yeah, so I know I already played the song last week, but I'm gonna play it again because I feel good about it. So yeah, we're just gonna play the song one more time. This was Supa Radio. A Girl is Tired. To be honest, we probably won't have this next week, or it might happen the week after next, or I might move it to Saturday. This, honestly, looking at the way life is happening, I'm a college student, I'm busy, I work. It's really just gonna be one of those things where I'm gonna have to look at how we're gonna move forward with this. Are we gonna make this bi weekly? We're gonna make this on a different day that's more convenient for me. Trying to just figure all that out. So I'll keep people updated. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram, on my, I don't use Twitter. Follow me on my Instagram. Follow me on Spotify. Follow me on Apple Music. Most definitely. And yeah, so I'm thinking of going into commentary channels because I love talking about movies. Obviously, I like to talk because you can hear me talk. But I'm thinking of doing a little more commentary things, not just on movies, maybe on like TikToks or responding to, or like just looking at different things. I don't know if I want to make them too serious just because I don't want to try to talk like I know everything because I most definitely don't. But I'm thinking leaning more towards like movie commentaries. Maybe I'll watch like an entire season of a show and then see what happens there. So yeah, so I'm thinking of doing that, and I feel like I might want to lean a little more on trying to have more planned YouTube videos over those live stream radio show, just because most people who aren't subscribed to you don't watch your live streams. That's just how it is. I don't watch people's live streams if I'm not subscribed to them, so I'd rather do the videos that are going to get me on the YouTube algorithm so that you guys can start to see this. So yeah, so I've been saying this for weeks now, but seriously though, I'm going to really try to do more planned YouTube videos as time goes. Hopefully, school and work won't kill me, and hopefully I won't catch COVID. Pray for me, guys. But yeah, so I said we are going to play Awkward Length 10 minutes ago. We're going to play Awkward Length right now, and I will talk to you guys next week.
searching for an answer. 'Cause I'm stuck, and I don't know what to do with all this hair. Out of luck, braids, wigs, and twists, locks, knots, my wrist is in pain from being up so much. Sometimes I don't like what it becomes. I wish it would be in a better state than what I end up with. It got me begging, won't you roll past my shoulders, past my shoulders. I've been waiting patiently. These products aren't cheap. Won't you roll past my shoulders, past my shoulders. I imagine it would be so much better for me. Race water, claim that. What they do, I don't ask. This awkwardly makes me mad. Wish my hair was like that. Got me all up in YouTube, tryna be like these gurus, finding tips that I can use. Olive back hairstyle, coconut oil doesn't last. I'm searching for a worse fast.